Hey, yo, it's Cory from the Progression Point Podcast. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First and foremost, it's free. There's nothing that you have to put down, straight free. Man, if you got anything that you want to talk about, and if you ever thought about doing a podcast, this is the easiest way to do it, and it's free. There's certain creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Doesn't matter if you have an Apple phone or if you're strictly Android. Download the app, get it cracking. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Music, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So, do this for me. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's that easy. Now to the podcast. All right, guys. So, we're back after the holiday. We don't have our mics tonight, but we will have them, I promise you, next week.
Yeah.
But, This is the Progression Point episode Quattro. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Cory.
And it's your boy, Ty.
And once again, this is the Progression Point Podcast. Man, Ty, how was your holidays, bro? How was the holidays?
Man, I would say it was bittersweet, man. You know what? We like to be honest with the people, brother.
We like to be honest.
We like to be honest with the people, man. And, a lot of things I told you offline and stuff like that, but I always want people to see that we are real people.
Real people.
Dealing with real things.
Real problems.
And the holidays, as it relates to with the kids, I think that it turned out good for them in the sense of we had them kind of like go out and buy gifts for each other.
Nice.
And,
nice.
My oldest daughters, they got jobs and stuff like that, so we had them go out and buy little gifts and stuff for their younger siblings and stuff, and then we gave the younger boys some money to go buy stuff for their sisters and stuff. But
nice.
But within that, it wasn't what we were used to.
Right.
And so, but in that, it gave me an awareness of like, you know what? It's bigger than the commercialization of what it was. And so I'm not going to go too in depth with it because I want to keep this short, brief, and powerful. But it was just one of those things where it was a little bit of sweet, but then mostly sweet towards the end of it because, I got to see my kids get into the giving aspect of wanting to do for each other instead of expecting us to do a whole lot for them. Mm-hmm. And I felt like it was a good segue going to the new year because I have great expectations. So but how about yourself though, brother?
Man,
how was your Christmas?
My Christmas
and New Year.
And New Year, bro, was phenomenal. We had family over.
Yeah.
My in-laws, my sister-in-law, her kids, my cousin came over, my wife's aunt came over, and dog, my wife's auntie made this peach cobbler. And she left it at the crib. I mean, dog, the pan was like the dressing pan. Tight.
What'd you do with it, brother?
Ty, man, I heard that peach cobbler. Hey, auntie was like, I made it just for you. I'm like, okay, because you asked for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, Anjanine, but like, this was a couple days later when I saw it. I said, Anjanine, but you can't leave the whole pan. Take some.
You can't leave the whole
Dude,
pan.
man, I went out. Man, look, man. So my wife, she took a good portion of it.
Yeah.
Put it in the freezer. Froze it.
Yeah.
So left me some in the pan. Man, I'm going to buy vanilla ice cream. Put that joint in the microwave. Putting that ice cream on top. Man, look.
He was in heaven.
Man, look, man. It looked good at least 4-5 days after. I even took some out the freezer.
He went and confiscated the extras.
I took the extras, bro, and I did some work to that piece of college, man. And I told myself, this got to stop. This is a problem.
Yeah.
So I tightened up the week after Christmas. Because I said, look, the beginning of 2019, bro, my workout game was phenomenal. I was like 310. I was in the gym. Shirts was tight. You could see some little muscles starting to form. Man, got to Arizona. In June, I put on 23 pounds. I said, man, I went to the doctor. I was like, all right, okay. So that last week, I said I'm gonna start good. I'm gonna finish the year strong.
Yeah.
I started good, and the middle was good, but the second going in the third quarter, I fell off. So I said, the last week, I'm gonna finish strong, and I'm going in 2019. I've been going strong ever since.
See, that's good, bro. See, like, what I love about that, too.
I didn't say, I'm going to start the new year.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
I was going to touch on that.
I started.
Because you didn't wait for a day to be significant.
Nope.
You made the right now to be significant,
exactly.
Bro. Like, there's no such thing as a day. We move from the construct of time because
right.
we're a man on this planet.
Right.
We use calendar from that standpoint, but God doesn't move like that. And
right.
if we want to see
right.
great things in our lives, we got to move the way
right.
God moves.
Yep.
He moves into now.
Yep.
And so I'm with you, brother.
Yeah. So, Robert, I saw my blood pressure went down. I don't know if they got on the last podcast, but I was in the hospital like December 7th to like the 9th because I was dizzy. My blood pressure was high. So like since I've changed my diet, kind of going more plant based.
Yeah.
I've seen my numbers go down. Because my ultimate goal is I gotta go back to the doctor at the end of the month. I want to be off this blood pressure medicine in like a month or two.
Yes.
So
yes.
I just been locking in, really focusing on that, and man, I'm gonna chart my progress on our Instagram podcast. Go check us out at the Progression Point Podcast on IG. And I log my progress on there too and keep y'all up to date. But dog, I want to kill 2020,
bro. Like that's kind of like what the subject is about today.
It
right?
is. First,
yeah.
we gotta. So my man's, I asked some people for like feedback, and somebody gave me a really good topic, man. And this is what we do in our lives too. We look at the habits of successful people.
Yep.
So I want to highlight, man. You can go to our Instagram, and I posted a while back about Mark Wahlberg, and what Mark Wahlberg does. He gets up at 2:45, I believe, and his day is mapped out throughout the whole day, and so he gets up at like 2:45. From like 2:45 to 3, he has his prayer time, he has his devotion time. I got it all laid out on the Instagram.
Yep.
You got it, Ty? You
yep,
pulled
got
up?
it right
okay,
here.
Go ahead.
So 2:30 a.m. he wakes up. 2:45 he has his prayer time. 3:15 he does breakfast. 3:40 to 5:15 he does his workout. 5:30 a.m. post-workout meal. 6 a.m. he gets in the shower. 7:30 a.m. he goes in golf. 8 a.m. he has his snack. 9:30 does a cryo chamber for recovery. 10:30 a.m. he has another snack. 11 family time, meetings, work calls. 1 p.m. lunch. 2 p.m. meetings, work calls. 3 o'clock pick up the kids at school. 3:30 snack time. 4 o'clock workout number 2. 5 o'clock shower. 5:30 p.m. dinner, family time. 7:30 p.m. bedtime.
That's the habits of the 1% successful people, bro. And like. It's like this morning, as I was just thinking about this podcast, and I thought about that, I had went back and looked at Mark Wahlberg's schedule, and I was like, yo, okay, he's successful, he values time. If I want to be successful, I need to value my time.
Yeah.
So what I did was, and I knew this, but like today it like clicked.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I kind of started a little bit last year, but it wasn't as detailed.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, boom, I'm getting up at this time. This time I get up, I go to the gym, come back, do my devotions, I read, and then I got to take my daughter to school.
Yeah.
So when I have time to help her get dressed, get her breakfast together, and then, walk her to school, come back home. But, I want to have my day so detailed to where I waste no time.
Bro, you know who else does that? I heard that Warren Buffett lives like that.
Yeah.
Like, he lives by, there's no minute in his day that is not accounted for. Right? And I think that that's one of the things, it's like what you said moments ago, like the phrase that we always say amongst ourselves or we hear it with others is that we know, but we don't do.
Right.
And it's about, to even be transparent in this conversation. I was talking to my daughter today, right? And kind of give you guys context. Like, I was late to recording this podcast with my boy. To be 100, I was talking to family. And some of y'all will hear this and be like, oh, okay, that's justifiable. No, it's not, because I didn't properly manage my time. Right? And this is what we want to make sure that we hold everybody accountable to understanding. We think because, I had a family situation, right? Unless this a death, a life or death situation, there is no excuse to be late. There is no excuse to be honoring towards your calendar. Because if you're not honoring to yourself, how are you going to be able to honor other people?
Wow, that's good.
if you can't hold yourself accountable to who you are desiring to be,
right?
How can someone look at you and see something in you that you can't even see yourself?
Right.
No matter how many words of affirmation we put out there. But anyway, like talking to my daughter and we're just talking about like just being accountable, being responsible. Like we have this acronym of CARE that we're talking about. Like you got to always care. In our family, you're going to care. C stands for communication. You need to always communicate what's going on. A, accountability. Hold yourself accountable. We all hold ourselves accountable as a family. R, being responsible. People think it's a synonymous thing between the two. Being accountable is being responsible. It's not always the same thing. Being responsible is hey, at least I go to work every day. But are you accountable when you make mistakes at work every day? Right? Are you accountable to those things are you taking ownership outside of just doing the right thing? Right? And then being encouraging. Like you have to be able to be encouraging. And I say all that to share with you guys, and I already shared this with my boy Cory already, is when you honor that aspect of your life where you make sure that you communicate, be accountable, be responsible, be encouraging. Because the reason why I put that E there is because we're not going to be perfect. And we got to be able to edify each other and support each other. When you don't do it all the time right, you got to be able to do that. So when you're having a calendar, bro, like what you're talking about, like Warren Buffett and Mark Wahlberg, it seems like they got every minute of their day blocked off because they value
time. They understand that. They understand that time equates to dollars.
Yeah.
Time equates to me living the best life possible.
Yeah. That's really what that really sums up. What you said, living the best life possible is honoring of every ounce that you have available. Like,
man, I wish I'd have brought that. I wish I'd have brought my notebook, bro. Next week I'm gonna bring it because I did how many hours is in a year. I did how many hours is in 5 years. How many hours is in 10 years, bro. When I saw that, I was like, okay,
bro. But you know what messes us up? This is why we don't honor our time right? Because think about it. You know, we went to public school. I went to public school. You went to public school.
For sure.
You grow up in a system where people despise schedules, right? I got to get up. I got to do something that I don't want to do. Or we work at jobs doing stuff that we don't want to do, right? And in that, we feel like when it comes to doing something for ourselves, we like the end result, but we don't like the process.
Right.
The process is what we don't want to do. So we can't commit to the end result because we hate the process.
But this is funny because it segues kind of into what we're going to talk about. The middle part, the perseverance, the falling that you do in between is what builds you up and builds your character.
Bro. Dude.
The in between is the goal.
Bro, let me tell you this. There's a book I'm reading right now. I told you it's called To Hell with the Hustle. Dude talks about, like, in the beginning, people always want to set goals. Yeah. He said he and his wife, we don't set goals no more. We set formations. We don't care about the result. We care about the process. Yeah. We don't care about the thing. We care about who we're going to become.
I've been reading Romans 5, like, a lot, like, the last couple of days. And it's talking about, perseverance builds character builds hope. Like, bro, like the situations that I've been dealing with, that scripture has come alive to me,
bro,
so much, bro. And like I'm embracing all of the middle of my story.
You have to,
because I'll relish, because I'll appreciate the end, which is what people go for the end, but the middle, bro, is so precious. It's so precious, bro.
It's like the Cinnabon, bro.
Yeah, bro, it's the best part.
It has to be the best part. You gotta make it the best part.
The best part, bro.
You gotta make it the best part
because that sustains you. Bro. The middle part is gonna sustain you, bro. Your character. Like I told my wife this the other day. I said, I don't care. I want people to know my character. When they speak on me, I want people to speak on my character, not so much my talent.
Bro, that's why, like, we got to make sure. Shoot, that might be
we gotta stay.
Because, bro, To Hell with the Hustle. Like Jeff Bethke, he's a guy that he had a book that came out that was a good New York Times bestseller called Jesus Over Religion. Yeah. And he used to do these poetries.
Yeah,
so like,
for sure.
This book right here, bro. Like, I was literally talking to my kids about this. It's like it's the middle of your life. Like, it's the dash. Like, it can't be like, oh, when you were born, because what I found while I was making mistakes on, bro, and this is why people don't hold themselves accountable. I kept nurturing the end result in them, but not nurturing the process for them to say, hey, if you, because we had this conversation, Like, bro, if you don't become an NBA player, if you don't work in movies, theaters, or work in movies or films, if you don't do this, are you going to feel like your life was a waste?
Right.
It's the middle, bro. Like middle. What you touched on, like, if at the end of the day, can you at least be satisfied that who you became, regardless of what you're trying to be, right? Who did you become? Think about it. Like I told my kids, like I'm 36 years old, still going after my dream. I have 18, 17, 13, and 10-year-old, right? Mm-hmm. Right now, being at the age that I'm at, if people still see me trying to chase my dreams, other people on the outside are like, he's still trying to do that? He should just settle and get a job. And that's be like, what? You say that I wasted my life? Or you say that what I've been pouring into my kids was a waste? You're not seeing the middle. Right. You don't see what I've been trying to do in the middle of that. You just only see that I'm still trying to be in pursuit of something from an outside looking in. So like my value prop is what you touched on, bro. What legacy? We talk about this all the time. Yeah, what legacy? If I die tomorrow, don't have any assets of any tangible things that make me look significant to the world or social media, what would my kids say about me, bro? What will my kids say about me? But again, then rear it back in. Accountability, being mindful of your time, because when you look at those schedules, people want to look at Mark Wahlberg's schedule, Warren Buffett's schedule, and be like, this dude at the end of the day was accountable to himself. Yep. Because at the end of the day, if none of those movies transpire after that, you're going to be like, hey, his work ethic was off the chain. Crazy. Like, regardless of what happens. Warren Buffett
reads for 7 hours a day.
Bro. It's what you consume. It's what, like, he's allowing himself to consume the things that's going to make. That's why he's a billionaire. You think, see, this is the thing, like, we get caught up thinking, like, oh, bro, man, like, I know I should get up early, but I'm not a morning person. Right. Then that's a you problem, that's a you problem, yeah. Become a morning person. Stop saying that you something that you don't want. I've never been a morning person, but, like, if anything has taught me something, is that 2019 proved to me that I could be a morning person. Because it was, like, for 6 of the 12 months of last year, I was getting up. Me and my wife was getting up at 4:35 in the cold, hitting the gym, committed. So lately, I've been getting up at like anywhere between 3:30 and 5. Yeah, because you can. When you to kind of even segue, like I was talking to my daughter. Yeah. I was telling her like, hey, you got to put the phone in the charging station like everybody else. And she was like, well, it's not like I don't know. Like I know I'm supposed to do that. I just when I'm in the room, I just be like, oh, well, since I'm already in the room, I just plug it in here. Yeah. And she was like, I don't see that as disrespectful. No, but because you don't plan to be disrespectful. If you know better and you don't do it, you're being disrespectful. Right. Disrespectful. Right. Not like, oh, you got to say, I ain't plugging my phone in there and I'm going to just go plug it in here. Just because you don't consciously think of it like that, your actions are the attribute of the disrespect. Yep. And so when I told her that, she was like, okay, yeah, I can see that. Because you only thought it had to be one way. Mm-hmm. You thought it had to be being belligerent and just saying, I'm not going to listen to you. Right. No, your actions speak more louder than your words. Right. So when you talk about, I want to be this and I want to be that, but you don't have a calendar. Right. And people, if all y'all who are listening right now, I'm sure y'all might have heard this saying, but I'm going to repeat it again because it needs to be redundantly said. If you fail to plan, that means you're planning to fail.
That's a progression point. Boom! Write that down.
Bang.
Yep, that's a progression point. That's a progression point.
It's real though. Like, if you fail to plan, that means you are planning to fail. Sitting around because you hoping and the wishing and the wishing and the hoping, and you go into the shower and you pray to Jesus or whatever God you believe in, and you're saying, God, I want to be this, blah, blah, blah. And you think because you have good work ethic of going to your normal job. This is the thing. I heard this from Bill Johnson. He said this. God is not opposed to effort, he's opposed to earning. How I interpreted that for myself is that God's able to honor anyone who's willing to go out there and do the work, just like the parable of the talents. Mm-hmm. You go out there and put in the work and try, he's going to honor the effort that you put in. But if you be like the one who tried to hide his gift and or his talents, God's going to also say there's a consequence for that too. Yeah. Like, you're not honoring what I gave you. Right. And because of that, you're setting yourself apart. Yep. And you still want to think like, oh, I'm a be this thing because you like I'm bro, let me tell you this. I'm about The Secret, right? Like, I like I've watched it on Netflix.
Yeah.
I like the idea because it's correlated to what the word says. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, renewing of the mind, right?
Right.
I get, as a man thinketh, so is he.
Yep.
But at the same time, the Bible says, faith without works is dead.
Faith without corresponding action.
Without corresponding action. See, not your job, not faith without money is dead, not faith without hope is dead. Faith without corresponding action.
Yep.
If you believe, like, just here's the thing. When you wake up in the morning to go into your bathroom, you don't be praying and hoping to turn the faucet on and that water's going to come out.
Right.
You don't be praying and hoping that when you hit the switch to turn the bathroom light on, that the light's going to come on. You respond out of faith that you take action and you expect it to manifest itself.
Yep.
You expect it through the actions that you're taking that it's going to manifest itself.
Yep.
So expect it when you put down on a piece of paper that I'm getting up at 4:45 in the morning and I'm going to go do my Devo or I'm going to go spend some meditation time or I'm going to go do some workout, whatever that is. You expect that the result's going to be something, but you know what's another thing, bro? And I'm sorry, I keep rambling.
You going somewhere,
bro.
I got to piggyback. We got to get to
it. We're gonna get there. But bro, this is I'm on this devotional in the Bible app called Habits.
Okay, for sure.
And Craig Rochelle, the leader of Life Church, he said this. He said a lot of people, they'll look at small things of doing the right thing as it doesn't work, right? Oh, I worked out for 2 weeks.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. But this is the thing. When people think when they're doing the bad thing, they think it doesn't have an effect on them either.
Oh.
Right? They'd be like, oh, I only ate one row of the 3-row cookies. I only ate a whole tray of peach cobbler.
Right.
I only ate that. That was only once in a year, right? But we don't know the continual actions and the attitude towards being that way over a long period of time builds up.
Right.
So, bro.
2020, man.
2020.
My wife and I, we wrote the vision down and made it plain. We made vision boards this year.
Yep.
It was the end of the year and I was in Walmart and I felt the Lord tell me do vision boards.
Yeah.
And like doing that, bro, I was sitting on the couch and I said, man, I'm so excited about 2020. She said, because we got a roadmap.
Yeah.
Because we got vision. And I was like, okay. So pretty much every year, we doing, because every morning I wake up, boom, it's right there.
Yeah.
So it's my mind is seeing it, and it's doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it says in the back of 2:2, write the vision down and make it plain.
Make it plain.
You know what I'm saying? So people perish for lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because anyway, but yeah.
And it's also in, I think, what is it? I can't remember, but it also says, where there is no vision, people
perish. That's
also the other one.
That's the one I was thinking about. Where there is no vision, people perish. Because if you don't see it, if you don't have a vision, what are you shooting for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just an idea if it's not on paper. It's not a dream.
Bro.
It's not a dream. It's a thought.
Yeah.
If it's not on paper and you can't look at it every day, don't think it's gonna manifest.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, bro.
We gotta cut the false alarm.
Yeah.
But today, man, we want to talk about, man, we've all had it in life, man, where we felt like we built up momentum in our lives, and boom, out of nowhere, something hits us. Yeah. And we stop. Yeah. But like we talked about earlier, I feel like those falls and those trips, don't let them go to waste, because little do you know you've built endurance. Yeah. And you've built you've built strength, because you've in those falls you learn something. Yeah. You learn the triggers. Yep. And so man, I just want to talk about, the times in our lives where we fall, man, and like we may feel like those things are a waste, but they're not. We can use them. Yep. I'm adopting this terminology, man, this year, man, where I don't take L's, I don't take losses, they lessons. Yeah. I can learn from every hardship or every failure or I don't even consider it failure. It's a lesson. It's a lesson. Quote unquote failures are lessons. Yep. So man, we can learn from them, man. Don't take it and internalize it. Yeah. Take it, build on it, learn from that, and see, like, okay, every time something like this happens, I step back. Mm-hmm. What can I do to move forward when I had that resistance in my life come? Yeah. Man, what you think about that, Ty?
No, I think it's exactly that. Like, we as a society, we fear pain, right? Think about how sensitive our climate is with just conversations about same-sex marriage or politics or monogamy, or should you be married, or is marriage even a thing that you should, like, conversations are so sensitive to where we're a hypersensitive society. And so because of that, we allow any form of opposition that we try to avoid it.
Yeah.
Right? We try to avoid it instead of allowing it to build us up.
Right.
To allow us to say, hey, I understand that we're in a climate right now where things are going on, but you got to allow circumstances to happen. Like, this is the crazy thing. Like, you have to have circumstances.
You got to, man. They build character.
Yeah, because if you don't, think about it, like, people who live in Hawaii, right? We see Hawaii as a beautiful island of multiple islands, and that'd be like, man, hula girls and
grass skirts and
the lays and all that. But for people who live in it all the time, they don't see the value that we see it in.
Right.
Because if every day's a sunny day, then what's a sunny day? Right. If you don't have opposition of any kind that you're dealing with, to allow yourself to see, because what it does for you, enduring the situation, in order to see that you have endurance, you allow yourself to have perspective. Because you're not going to see it as a thing of being able to endure if you don't have the perspective of, I've survived. I overcame. You have to allow yourself to adopt the perspective of it being endurance. Because what will happen is, I'm always in pain. I don't know if you've seen the movie The Joker. You seen The Joker? All right. What people don't realize, and for those, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear it, you might want to skim it. But anyway, I'm not going to get too many details.
You already seen the chat. Too bad.
It's too bad. It is what it is.
Right.
But the mental capacity of what he was going through, if people, and this is where, like, having accountability partners like yourself, bro, like, having conversations and having people around us should be able to help us to see things a certain way. But there was a scene in there where the Joker, or whatever his real name was at the time, Arthur or whatever it was. Arthur Fleck. He went in there to talk to his psychologist, right? He started telling her, he was like, hey, I'm telling you that I'm dealing with some stuff, but you don't really listen to me. You're not really hearing me. If she was doing her part, if she would have gave him perspective, he would have seen that, dude, you've overcome so much. Bro. But she allowed him to stay in the mind state of what he's always been used to. Because it was just a routine for her. And what we don't want to get stuck in is seeing our situation as a routine, because then we become victims. And that's what the dude in the movie ended up actually becoming for himself, is a victim of his own history, and saying, hey, I don't know why I'm this way. And looking at his situation as, hey, I can make things better for people, but you got to connect yourself to other things around you to give you a different perspective. Because think about it. Because we live in a hypersensitive society, we try to avoid pain and circumstance and opposition as possible. But if we don't be around other people to give us perspective, it's going to be hard for you to say, yeah, I am enduring, but you only see it as a form of toleration.
A la the participation trophy.
Yeah.
My kid will never get a participation trophy. Because you know what? You need to feel the sting of losing. Yeah. Because life, you're gonna have some losses, some lessons. Yeah. You got some lessons in life, bro. How are you gonna handle those lessons, bro? Because I'm telling you, life will hit you in the mouth. You gotta learn that skill on how to pick yourself up when you fall, and dust yourself off, and keep going, and understanding that when it comes, it's power and consistency. Bro. You have to be consistent. I'm learning, like, when I go through stuff, I can't stop working out. Yep. Because if you stop working out, if it's 2 days, 3 days, it's going to snowball in 6 months. Yeah. And like me, it's 23 pounds later. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have to keep, even though lessons come, you have to be consistent in whatever it is that you're doing, because there's power. We say that all the time. There's power in your consistency. So this year, my mindset is, it doesn't matter what comes my way. I'm going to be consistent in my faith, my family, my finances, my fitness and working out. I'm going to be consistent in all those areas, because I know that consistency will definitely pay off in the long run.
Bro.
How many times have you felt like you've been doing good and you're being consistent and something comes and knocks you off your square?
Yeah. Plenty of times. And then I allow myself to stay off for too long.
Right, stay off.
Now I'm like, I'm back at the start over point, technically.
Right. I thank God I didn't put on all the weight that I lost, you know what I'm saying, the last year, but I had to catch myself and, all right, okay, life is going to throw you a lesson.
Yep. But
all the things that I'm enduring and I'm going through, it's going to help someone else.
Yeah. That's
the reason why we created this podcast.
Bro, like, it's the progression, like, we call it the progression point. Like, what you just touched on, bro, it reminded me of, you know Joe Burrows, right? The quarterback for LSU.
Yep.
So, for any of you who do or who don't know or care or not, but Joe Burrows, he played for Ohio State. But he wasn't able to get his shot. He wanted to stay at Ohio State. He stayed for pretty much all the way up until graduation, pretty much. And he left around the middle of the season of last year, 2018. And went to LSU, balled his butt off. And I had a conversation with someone. It was like, man, he was out there. Like, you know, do you think he would have been like that, blah, 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 if he would have stayed at Ohio State? And no, I don't think he would have.
You don't think so?
Because this is the thing. He needed opposition, brother.
Come on. Hey,
he needed to see.
As soon as you said that, I was like, oh my God, the light went on.
Bro, nope. He needed to see that. Because sometimes when you're in a place that you don't want to be, and sometimes you don't want to go to another place, but sometimes that's the fuel you need to actually show what you are actually made of.
Being uncomfortable will bring the best out of you.
Bro, he was a Buckeye to the heart, bro. He stayed there.
But like you said, this generation don't like to be uncomfortable.
They don't, bro. We don't want to deal with opposition and what we call it negative. We think anything that opposes us is automatically negative. If the door isn't open as an opportunity, we see it as an opposition.
And we give up and quit.
We give up. Oh, maybe I'm not supposed to have that. Or because that situation?
At that time. Maybe it's 6 months down. Maybe it's meant for you to be 6 months down the road. Because whatever that thing you wanted might have just took you up out of here because your character couldn't keep you there and you weren't ready for it.
Bro, think about it. Just we parents, you know how many times our kids ask us for stuff? We desire the world for them. Yeah. But we also know that there's limitations.
So I got if my 6-year-old daughter asks me, Daddy, can I get a car for my birthday? And I go and buy her one. Is she ready for that?
Is she ready?
No, absolutely not. I would be doing her a disservice going out and get her a car.
Yeah. She has to go through from birth, bro. You don't know how to walk when you're born. So you have to go through walking and falling, progression. To the point to where you don't even remember ever falling when you were trying to learn how to walk. Like just what Les Brown said this. He said the easiest thing I ever did was make $1 million.
Right.
The hardest thing I ever dealt with is believing that I could. Believing that just because somebody shuts the door or says no, it doesn't mean that you're not supposed to ever have it. It just means that at that moment and that point in time, it wasn't meant for you from that particular situation or that place. And you got to allow yourself to take the lesson, but this is the thing. Be willing to learn from the lesson.
There's growth.
You're going to get the L's. You're going to take a whole bunch of lessons going to be given out to you. How many times do you want to keep failing the class, though?
Take that progression point lessons.
Lessons on lessons.
Ah, man, in the middle, it's the blessing, y'all.
Yes.
I'm telling you, take in the middle, man, relish it.
Yes.
Take it. Don't look at it as insignificant, man. That's the most significant point. If you look at the life of any successful person, they had rough patches.
Yes.
And a lot of them like, yo, like at the roughest point in my life, I was about to quit and give up. But because they did it, because they persevered, they became who they are today, who you see them in front of a TV screen or whatever. I mean, look, man, we all know about Michael Jordan, man. The man was cut.
Yeah, and he was cut.
He was cut.
Bro.
Came back.
Known as the best basketball player in history.
And the GOAT.
The GOAT. True. Another person, people might not know this. Did you know that The Rock's dream was to be in the NFL?
Yep. He
went to the CFL in the Canadian Football League, and they cut him.
Wow.
And all he had was $7 in his pocket. That's where his production company is called $7 Productions.
Never knew that, bro.
And now look at where he's at.
Bro, you know Max Maxwell, right?
Yeah.
My man, go check out, for all of you If anybody wants to get into real estate, man, go check out Max Maxwell. But anyway, man, it's a dope story. It's a brother. Man, he wholesales homes, real estate guy, real estate investment guy. I follow him. I know Ty follows him. I listen to a lot of his stuff. And, man, this dude had a successful business. I think he had some things go wrong. Anyway, you know, he knew about real estate. I think he had his account was a negative, like $400. And what he said he did, man, is he put $1 worth of gas in his car, $2 worth of gas in his car, and he rode around looking for properties. You know what I'm saying? And now, you know, he made his first deal. He made $14,000, man. I'm pretty sure I get the story pretty much right. But if I go check him out, he'll tell a story. But I'll make a long story short, man. Now this dude a millionaire. And he was at the roughest point in his life. His bank account was negative $300-some odd. That was the last little bit of money he had, bro. And he went out and made it happen. Because
he allowed opposition the lessons of that negative situation, that negative bank account. Because either we're going to freeze up,
right,
and be like, oh, well, it's not meant for me to have it. Or we're going to say, you know what? He ain't done yet. I ain't done yet. Like, just because I have a hurdle in front of me doesn't mean that I shouldn't try to jump over that hurdle.
Right.
And sometimes just hearing a no once doesn't mean that that's the end of that opportunity.
Right.
Like, you need to persevere. You got to allow yourself to persevere. You got to show that you can flex that muscle of enduring situations like a no or a not yet or a maybe or a I can't right now or a you don't have enough money. Or your credit is trash.
Right.
Or you ain't married.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
We look at things and say, oh, like as if it's finite, bro.
Right.
Only person that can control anything is God. And there's so many miracles and situations that happen to where we treat it as if we've never heard these stories before and we live our lives as if it's impossible. Like, oh, they're the exception. Yep. Who in the heck is the exception from struggling?
Right.
And then still trying to make it. What, someone just gave them money? Like, I saw you struggle, brother. Here goes $2.5 million.
No.
You think that that's how it happens, people? Nope. That, oh, yeah, I know they had a story. Think about it. One day, Cory and I, you're going to see how this podcast progressed from two dudes sitting in a shop on a cell phone recording a podcast to the point to where you're going to be like, I remember them saying that.
Yes.
I remember them saying that. Bro, like, I'm dealing with trying to find another job right now.
Yep.
I'm dealing with financial woes right now.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with trying to be a good dad right now.
Right, all of that.
I'm trying to be a good Christian man right now. I'm trying to walk by faith, not by sight right now.
Right.
And you think that because I'm dealing with those levels of opposition and some levels of resistance that I'm supposed to slow down and supposed to like, you know what, maybe this isn't me.
You're just supposed to go harder. Your face is getting tested and turned up right now.
Bruh.
And
Eye
of the tiger, bro.
Eye
of the tiger. Man, one more thing, man. My pastor, shout out to my pastor, David Kramer, man. He gave a dope analogy about, you ever heard of like the biosphere or something like that here in Arizona?
Nah.
Well, it's about Tucson.
Okay.
And what they did was they took all these like plants, exotic plants, and basically put them in some domes in the desert. Build like this oasis type thing.
Yeah.
So basically, make a long story short, they brought in these plants and they brought in these trees. They put these trees up, and the trees started growing. They were pretty tall. They would just fall over. They like, so they put it back up, start growing, fall over. They're like, man, they fall over again. They're like, why are these falling over? They did some research. Well, these trees, they need wind to be blown against them.
Brother.
So that their roots, when they feel the wind in opposition, their roots go down deeper. And then, on top of that, bro, this is the kicker.
Whoa.
When they start going down deeper, they may find other roots, and then they grab a hold to those roots, and they link, and they sink.
That's crazy,
bro. When I heard when he gave that analogy, I was like, because he was kind of talking about like persevering and stuff like and just like different things. And when I heard that story, I was like, yo, like, okay, lessons are good.
Yes.
Because they just like those trees.
Yeah.
When the opposition comes, They push on you, but whatever. My faith is in God. So I'm just that's just me. But it just makes me go deeper and to plug in and to lean and to trust on Him more. Bro.
That's what it's supposed to do. Like, for those of you, you know what I'm saying, again, a lot of you might not, or you might, you know, understand what we're coming from as being, you know, Christian men and men of faith. But
also, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
This point came to me too. But it also, my wife and our relationship gets tighter. Cause it's like she's like the other root,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like I'm telling you, bro. Like, we just like the other night, we just, like I said, we was on the couch talking. I was like, 2020. Even though we're going through a little rough patch now with some things, not with our marriage, with some things going on.
Yep.
Like, we made that vision board, and it gave us so much vision, and we locked arms. We did it together, and like it just synced us. You know what I'm saying? It brought us closer, and it knit us together like those trees.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so even with me and Ty, like, this is my brother, you know, and we kind of got some of the similar situations going on, but like, we was on the phone the other day for like 40 minutes, and we encouraging each other, you know?
Yeah.
Like, man, like, if there's somebody in your life who you trust, man, and you trust that you can tell some things to them, yo, that's who you link with.
Yeah.
And when opposition comes and when the winds come, you can link up and you can build each other up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because we want to keep growing. Because this is the thing. Again, make sure y'all understand this. We're not against opposition. We actually yearn for it because it draws us closer. Yep. Like that's what my man Cory is talking about. Like, we're getting deeper into our relationship with God, and then that's even connecting those who are also going deeper in their relationship with God to be able to stand strong.
Yep.
So as the wind blows, we desire it because it pushes us to be able to stand strong on the foundational truth of what we believe.
Man, because if I'd have been going through what I've been going through now 14 years ago, I'd have been right at somebody's liquor store.
Tell him.
Give me a half pint of hen.
Tell him.
Pint of hen. And go on and get me some cigarillos. But that is not the case, because that's just a suppressant. That's not actually fixing your problem, because when you wake up, your problem's still going to be there. So you just self-medicate yourself for no reason.
No reason. Bro. No reason.
And then you smoking weed, you don't want to do nothing.
Yep. And you just sitting around just talking about the shoulda, woulda, coulda, and what didn't happen.
You look up, you're 36, and you ain't doing nothing with yourself. That's a whole other podcast.
Another podcast.
But man, Ty,
bro.
Before we close, man, was there anything that you want to leave with the listeners before we get up out of here?
Like, keep being aware that you were made stronger than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
You're here for a reason. You're not an accident. You're not some random mishap.
Yeah.
Like, God gave you purpose beyond a title or a position or a job or a manager's perspective or the outside world trying to give you significance from their perspective. Like, you're hearing from two brothers who met not even that long ago, coming from the Midwest, and God linked us together for a reason, and there's no such thing as an accident.
Nope.
And I believe what we're doing with the progression point, brother, and to brothers and sisters out there listening, that your life has meaning.
Value.
Yeah, bro. What you got for me?
Man, I don't know. Just sitting here listening to you talk. Just sitting here, like I said, listening to Ty talk. I thought about wrestling. And, I was a wrestling fan growing up. You know, Jake the Snake, Hulk. My guy was, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And this thought just came to my mind, man. Don't tap out.
Yeah.
When they get you in that leg lock or that ankle, that twist the ankle up, and see them guys in agony, but they crawl and they get to that turnbuckle or they get to that rope and they grab it.
Yeah.
Don't tap out. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, man, like, right around the corner of what you're going through is sunshine. Yeah. Don't give up. Don't quit before it's too early. Don't tap out, man, because I promise you guys, perseverance goes a long way, and it builds character in your life. Yeah. And these lessons that we learn in life are valuable. Yeah. Enjoy the middle. Yes. Don't overlook it because you're trying to see the end. Enjoy, be content in the middle, and allow it to build perseverance and character, because character is what's going to keep you to where you're trying to go.
Enjoy the
middle.
middle.
Enjoy the middle, man. Enjoy the middle.
That's a progression point right there. Enjoy the middle.
Enjoy the middle.
Please.
Man.
Please. Regardless of what it feels like. And this is the thing, and I'll close from my standpoint. It's not about how you feel.
Right.
Don't let your feelings dictate how you go about it.
Right.
You already know in your mind what you should do.
Yeah.
So don't say, hey, I didn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it's enjoyable. It's not about the feeling.
Right.
It's about the end result of what it's going to do. Who are you becoming?
Yeah.
So enjoy the middle because of what you're going to become from that place is phenomenal.
Yes. Man. Episode 4 is in the books. Man, we love y'all and we appreciate y'all. Get in that comment section, man, on Instagram.
Please.
I'll do a little video, just explaining, just giving a little sneak peek of the episode going forward. Man, please engage with us on social media.
Yes.
Right now, Ty and I are off of Instagram. No, not Instagram, but Facebook. Mm-hmm. But, man, connect with us on Instagram, man. We love to hear the feedback. We love you guys, man. We see you next week. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.